Welcome viewers. Today we shall do another directed writing story. The title of the story is, There is a sufficiency in the world for man's need but not for man's greed. Carl Johnson had realized this only after 3 decades. He was no longer an established tycoon with a brand name. He was an ordinary, homeless vagabond who survived on the meager earnings of the day through begging for alms. He was stricken with leprosy, a deadly disease that he had contracted since he began living on the filthy streets of Harlem. His matted, unkempt locks of hair and his blackened teeth shone light on the harsh realities of his daily life. This tall, pale-skinned, frail man was often seen scavenging through the garbage bins. Who would have ever thought that Carl Johnson was once a business tycoon who monopolized the Johnson Empire? It was the summer of 1975 in Washington, D.C. The name Johnson shone across the blue skyline on the tallest building in the city. Pioneered and founded by the late Zach Johnson, the company had escalated to height of success and glory. Carl and Jack had imprinted their company on global level and had been working hand in hand to ensure the prolonging prosperity of their family business. Although they lived in separate Georgian mansions with vast sprawling estates, it did not deter them to strive for more. Sibling rivalry was non-existent between them until the death of their mother, Maria Johnson. Maria's evil brother Hansen was an opportunist who had been eyeing the empire for a long time. He was waiting for the right moment to strike and stake a claim as the rightful heir. He hatched a devious plan to corrupt Carl's thoughts and set him against his own brother. At first, he manipulated Carl into believing that he had Carl's best interests in mind. Carl, being gullible, soon fell into the dark clutches of greed and animosity. On the pretense of signing some important documents, Hansen was conniving enough to drug the Johnson brothers and transfer the entire empire under his name. Meanwhile, Carl and Hansen devised a wicked plot to assassinate Jack and his immediate family. On the evening of the 25th of April, Jack was to attend a public seminar along with his wife and 2 children. Carl hired a trained assassin to execute this plan. A bomb was planted in Jack's Porsche while he was attending the event. As soon as they sat in the car, there was a deafening explosion that rocked the street. Within minutes, the entire family perished. Carl was overcome by selfishness and stabbed by avarice like a peach with a silver knife. He gloated in the excitement of his newfound victory. Little did he realize what was in store for him. On the bright, sunny morning of the 29th of April, he headed to the Johnson headquarters gleaming with a sinister smile. However, his joyful expression turned into that of horror when he was denied access into his own office. The security guards pinned him to the wall. Just then he caught a glimpse of his malicious uncle Hansen, chuckling away. "Get off my property, you vermin! Nothing here belongs to you. I am the sole heir now," he said with a malevolent grin. Carl was transfixed. He couldn't believe his eyes. Everything he had worked for had vanished in minutes. Moreover, he had no proof against the cruel act of his uncle. Carl realized that he shouldn't have let greed get the better of him. But it was too late. 30 years had passed since, He had nothing to live for. The spear of fate had struck a vicious blow, eliminating everything that once belonged to him. Now at 68, he lay on the rough pavement, awaiting for the grim shadows of death to relieve him from his misery and remorse.